All right, so fall last night, so you had a little ways to go to keep polishing.
Yeah, we have some time. Yeah, we're working hard, though, already, for sure.
Clearly, it already looks quite good from the demo. So, question time, you guys ready?
Yeah, and if you guys do ask a question, there's a pile of swag. So after you've asked a question, please come over and grab whatever you want from the pile of swag. And is there a microphone somewhere? Oh, look, right here, there's the microphone, so...
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for creating what looks to be a really interactive co-play dynamic. I'm amazed. Something I wanted to ask is that it looks like there doesn't seem to be any sort of ammo depletion. Is that true, or was that just for the demo?
You want me to take that one? Or you want to? Yeah, ammo. Ammo's a funny one. This is something we have debated this hotly at the studio. We're debating it right now. On one hand, it's hard to have ammo in a co-op game. You're focused on a lot of other things. The chaos of other players is a big consideration for us. On the other hand, we do see the need for some design limits for weapon use. So my honest answer is that we're tweaking the formula right now and trying to figure out what's going to work best for this game.
Okay, well, thank you. I was just kind of curious because I saw it. And I was
That's a
like,
good question. Yeah, absolutely.
And grab your swag. Go for it.
Hi, my question is, for each level, will there be continual respawns for each class or each character? Or will you eventually die off and end the level?
Yeah, that's another really great question. So let me talk about the way we're handling death in this game. If one of your friends dies during combat, we have a revive mechanic. So other characters, other players can get that person back on their feet and back working with the team. If a friend falls off a cliff, there's a little penalty associated with that, but it's not a huge one. You spawn back in with the rest of the play group pretty quickly. And the reason for that, and we tinkered with a lot of things, was that it's no fun to sit and watch your friends play. I mean, we want to get you back in the game pretty quickly. Yeah, at the same time, for design balance issues, we need to have some little penalty. So you're out for a few seconds if you fall off a ledge. If the entire team goes down, then yeah, you're back to the previous checkpoint after that. So, that really incentivizes co-op, which is what we're all about. You need to keep your teammates alive and with you as you play through. Thanks.
Hi, I was wondering, when you did certain events, like a point value came up, can you tell us what that's for, or not?
Yes. Well, I can tell you part of it. There's part of it I can't talk about just yet, although I wish I could. Some people won't let me say stuff sometimes. But yeah, that is part of the way we incentivize co-op. Those are something that you get that's charging something up. And when you work together, you get more of it. Obviously, you also get some in your individual profile when you work together really well. And those make a very cool thing happen in the game that I wish...
Cut his mic!
Okay.
And there are a lot of different things that you can do together. So part of it's like discovering what these cool things are. Yeah. Just like with the vacuum, with the hook shot, with the tools that you have, to seeing these crazy co-op things you can do, to get points.
All right, thanks.
Cool. Thank you.
Hi guys. Story-wise, is this one of those games that's going to sit outside the canon, or things like in like a neighboring game like Jack and Daxter, like that racing game? Characters were. Is this something, because it seems like the 4-player aspect of it
No. Yeah, no, you're not going to miss anything. The story is still told as if all 4 players are there, because we get them. We get a lot of comedy out of there, and the story just follows. It's about these 4 characters that are lost in this alien world.
Back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely canon as far as the Ratchet universe is concerned. It is a full Ratchet adventure, and it is connected to A Crack in Time and the comic book. So.
As far as gun upgrades go, are there going to be gun upgrades, or are the guns just variations on the sucker gun?
Do you want to take that, or do you want me to?
I was looking into James and see.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's part of the franchise DNA.
Yeah.
And Chad can talk about it more, but it's
like
there's always going to be gun upgrades in Ratchet and Clank, basically.
Yeah, well said.
So, yes, there will be gun upgrades.
I was wondering about two quick things. One is move support. Am I going to need to buy move or do anything to?
We're still looking into Move right now.
Okay. And also, I know the character select screen was that you kind of pick whatever you want. Is there going to be like you can level up like your Ratchet and then play with your friends and like kind of like you have like a level 3 Ratchet, whatever, and your friend starts sounds like a level 1 Clank, or is that like persistence at all?
Yeah, that's a good question too. We want you to have some feeling of progression and of keeping something between play sessions. And we think that's another important part of the series. We don't want it to feel completely disposable. So players have individual profiles, and you're building up your character in that profile. So when you jump between play sessions, you get to keep some things. Absolutely. Cool. Yeah, we think that kind of continuity is important.
We'll also support multiple PSN logins.
Yeah.
So if you get together with 4 people and you want to use your own profile, we let folks do that.
Cool. So everyone in the room can unlock their trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, my question is about frame rates. I seem to recall seeing a post on Kotaku some time ago talking about how basically a crack in time was likely to be the last 60 frame per second game Insomniac does. And I noticed this one appeared to be running at 30 frames a second roughly. Can you comment on that, or?
Yeah, well, you're very observant. Yeah, you're right. It is. It is running at 30, and we actually did tests very early on. It's one of the first things we did, and we played through. We looked at 60 with scaled back post effects and all of the kind of trade-offs we needed to make, and we looked at 30 with all the bells and whistles turned on. We thought 30 felt pretty good.
Yeah.
And we think it feels good for this game and still feels very fluid.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, I will say too that like all the SSAO and the motion blur and the depth of field, like if you saw all that in the demo and you could see far into the level and it was kind of blurry, all that stuff is made possible by going to 30, and it just wasn't even a contest.
Yeah, and I mean, there are gameplay reasons as well. Just like you can see that we're still doing kind of kinetic, very active, challenging things like on the using the swing shots, but we can still achieve that and have the amount of control that we want at 30 hertz. So we get kind of the best of both worlds.
My question is, I used to love, one of my favorite things in the Ratchet and Clank games is the museum that you could earn, or some of the Easter eggs you can go back and find. What have you guys put in this game as far as little stuff like that makes replayability higher?
There's going to be a lot of replayable stuff and stuff to go back and find as far as in the levels. It's kind of tough to say too much, though, because we're really early in production still. So stay tuned. But I think one of the hallmarks of our games is that they're very, very replayable, and this game will be absolutely no exception to that.
Thank you. Yeah, well said.
As far as progression goes and continuity, you're saying, how would that work as far as like a challenge mode? Is there a challenge mode? Because if you're signing in as 4 logins, how does that work if, say, 2 people have beaten it and are technically in a challenge mode where the other 2 aren't? Is that feasible?
Sure. Okay. I mean, if you're talking about like where you start in progression, we err on the side of the profile that's spawning the game. So yeah, I mean, it is going to be gated by that person who launches the game. At the same time, you'll be able to play through with somebody who's further along. If you're at their house, for sure, you can jump into the game and just get going with it.
Thank you.
Sure.
I was curious whether if there was ever going to be a Ratchet collection in the vein of like a God of War collection, or it's like
that is
a thought.
That is a very good question, and if Sony Computer Entertainment decides that they would like to get behind something like that, which would it would help for you guys to go buy the Sly collection this fall, we would be very happy to support it, and we think it'd be really, really cool.
Look at our producer over there.
Yeah, you can go ask Greg Phillips later.
You see what his face looks like now? Yeah, Greg.
That said, lots of people have asked us about that, and we think it'd be really cool if Sony decides to do it. So we would help out.
No pressure, though, man.
Thank you for asking my question.
Now I know that on games that focus on multiplayer, they kind of neglect the single player. So do you guys think like maybe you'll add like some extra missions that are only single player, or some extra missions that are only multiplayer?
I feel like part of the thing that we're trying to do is make sure that you don't miss out on things in the game because of play style. So in other words, if your preferred play style is as a solo human playing by yourself, that's fine. I mean, we think you should have access to everything. And I should mention the system we have set up right now lets you play through with a teammate who you choose, who's an AI who's going to help you through the worlds. So yeah, I mean, we think it's our goal to make it fun for one player and to not make it like a penalty for playing through as a single person, if that's what you want to do. At the same time, we want to preserve the feeling of teamwork, because that kind of is the core of the design of the game.
Yeah, you should hopefully get that same feeling with one player versus four. So
yeah.
Though they won't grief you like your friends will on your couch.
Yeah. The AI bot is much nicer than your friends.
Yeah,
that's
true. Thanks.
Besides throwing a person off a cliff, is there any other way to harm one of your teammates?
Wow, I feel like everyone will figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much about it,
There are
because
many.
everyone is going to learn instantly how many wonderful ways there are to make your friends' lives miserable.
many ways. We discover new ones every day.
Yeah, that's right.